trees get their nourishment directly from the sun. Melanin-rich people can get their nourishment directly from the sun. Okay? Not that you have to totally stop eating, because for some people it's a habit, it's an enjoyment, it's a pleasure, or whatever the case may be. But I don't want you to think that you need to get outside and stare out into space looking at the sunlight, because melanin-rich people do not have to do that. It is not necessary that you look at the sun. It's only necessary that you be in the sun. And the more of your skin exposed to it, the better. Now, I'm not saying become the hot pants mama or start looking like a half-naked whore out there or whatever the case may be. But, you know, if you can have on a tank top or these type of things without your jackets and coats, that's better. But if you do wear clothing, let's say it's cold, it is most appropriate that you wear natural fiber whenever possible. Now, the esters, the ester twins, Polly and her sister, Polly and Esther, those two and all this other man-made fiber, you can use that as far as flaps on pockets, maybe a collar, perhaps a cuff, piping and trimming, things like that. But you want to refrain from wearing entire outfits that are made of the poly and ester. Now, don't get me wrong. Although they're so-called man-made fibers, they are also natural things because they come from Earth. There's nothing on the planet that didn't come from nature herself. Even if it is poly and ester and it's made to become a type of plastic, it's still a natural thing because it came from nature, but it's been tampered with and screwed up. That's the whole problem. Now, when you wear the natural fibers, the sunlight and the protons and everything can get through it easier. It can get through this other stuff too. See, people think that they can just close melanin-rich people in a cave and that they'll get no light from the sun. That's not accurate either, because atoms travel through time, space, and matter. Okay? It just takes longer to get through walls, but it gets through walls. Now, when you wear natural fabrics like linen, cotton, silk, what do you call this, maybe leather, these types of things, those things will let the energy in and let the energy out faster than the esters, or the poly and ester twins. Now, another advantage to wearing natural fibers is if you ever are caught in a fire, you know how they say when you're coming up, stop, drop, and roll. If you stop, drop, and roll in natural fibers, that will, for the most part, put the fire out, because the skin doesn't really burn like that, because the so-called body of a being, or so-called man or woman or so-called person, those bodies are more water than not. So even though the body of a person can burn, usually it needs an incendiary or a flammable on it in order to make it burn. Now, a lot of times that means throwing some sort of flammable liquid onto the person in order to light them up. But you can't, for the most part, just throw a match on somebody's skin and think it's going to do anything. You can toss a match on someone's clothing and ignite that. However, if it's a natural fiber and they stop, drop, and roll, it will just basically become like an ash and poof, that's it. But if you are wearing polyester or some other type of bogus fabric, then what happens with those things is, rather than become like an ash and dissipate as ash, those things melt together and sort of bead up like a plastic. And when you stop, drop, and roll in something that is ignited, that is beading up like a plastic, it begins to meld into your skin, and that's how a lot of people that have been burned, that's how a lot of the deformity takes place, because the fiber they were wearing beaded up like a plastic and kind of melded darn near into their skin and almost became one with the skin. And again, I'm digressing, but since I'm saying it, it all needs to be said. Now, when you comprehend that what you wear has a lot to do with it, being out in the sun is getting your serotonin. When you go in for your quickening, which some people call sleep or rest, and I don't like sleep or rest because they both mean dead and death. And if you look them up, you will find that's what it is. That's why they say rest in peace. You're not trying to be dead or in death, resting in peace or sleeping. You are in the process of quickening. So what you want to do is go down in the evening for your quickening, not your sleep in death state in some form of dormancy. You want to go into a quickening state, and when you get a chance, you want to look that word up. But when you go down in the evening for your quickening, you want to make absolutely certain that you are in total darkness. And that's very difficult to do, but it is not impossible. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because of questions and comments that I've gotten from people. It's like, oh, I need to go out and get one of those masks to put over my eyes. That's great, but not enough. Because when you are in your state of quickening and your pineal is releasing the melatonin into your system, which keeps you calm, and also one of the things that keeps you youthful in your appearance, this type of thing is interrupted by any type of external light. So if you have street lights shining into your room, then you need to throw some kind of blanket up over that at night or something to cover that up. If you have computers on, that needs to be turned off. If you have the television on, that needs to be turned off, because many people, they quicken with these things blaring over them all night. That interferes with your melatonin release, which is also interfering with the very thing I'm trying to get you on, the stuff I'm trying to help you to accomplish. Now, even if you have a digital alarm clock, you need to take a DVD cover or something and prop it up in front of the digits on that clock, because no light whatsoever can hit any portion of your body, not even your big toe. You don't want any light shining on you when you are in your melatonin release. Now, and I had to say that because I don't know how many people didn't understand or comprehend what I was saying about, being out in the sun during the day to pull down your serotonin, and being in darkness to pull down your melatonin. Covering your eyes is not good enough. Your whole body must be out of exposure to any type of light whatsoever. Now, let's get back into where we're going. What time is it? Hold on. Let me just see what time it is here. Oh, we're doing good. Let me get back into your aura. Your aura has two main divisions, okay? One is known as your psychic beta force. That's PSYCHIC, separate word, B like boy, ETA, psychic beta force. That field is an emanation of your total personality energy, and that is radiated out to the world by your astral body. Now, it has greater brilliance and brighter colors, and it has the capacity to vary and change in color faster than the other body, because it responds to your emotional and spiritual state or condition that is usually the result of whatever your frame of mind is and however you are thinking. So one of the things I'm going to give you is a little trick. And melanin-rich people need this more than anybody. Now, a lot of people are like, for people that have no money and they don't have this, don't have that, they sure are happy most of the time. Well, that has a lot to do with the melanin richness, seriously, and the melatonin release, okay? So whenever you feel fear or stress or a strain or any level of disturbance or depression, or you're not feeling the most appropriate way that you should feel, you need to comprehend that you are going to be in something kind of like a fight or flight state of mind. That state of mind is the state of mind that these enemies are trying forever in a century to keep our people in. That's why the average brother just walking down the street will have the police going, hey, what are you doing? Where are you going? How are you doing? It's like, man, F off. You're sitting at the bus stop and here they come. So whenever you feel this type of state of mind, what I want you to do, and if you cannot think of a thing, then between now and 2 weeks from now, make it your business to come up with a thing. Think of some little baby that every time you think of this baby, they make you laugh or smile. Or think of some type of comfort food that every time you think of it, it makes you feel better. If you can't think of a comfort food or a little baby, because most little babies can make you laugh and smile, unless you're just a cold-hearted individual, and which is why I'm saying you need to do these 3 sounds I gave you for heart. But I don't care what kind of baby it is. It's very difficult for anybody that has any real energy moving the way it's supposed to move to look at a baby and not go, wow, that's just so, that's adorable, for lack of better words. But if you can't think of a comfort food or a baby that makes you laugh and smile every time you think of this child, and for many people your life has been so traumatic that it's going to be difficult to do, but for those individuals that can't do that, go back at something that took place in your life that was so funny or made you feel so good that every time you think of that thing, it just brings a total state of ease and joy and makes you smile. Or it makes you laugh. Something that every time you think about it, it's like, man, every time I think about that, it just makes me crack up. And for 2 seconds, only for 2 seconds, focus your energy on these things that make you feel better whenever you feel any type of fear, because the police just threw sirens on the back of you, or you hear gunshots, or of course, if it's gunshots, by all means, get out of the line of fire. But first, whenever you feel fear, strain, stress, depression, worry, or any of these fight or flight type of feelings, spend 2 seconds thinking about the thing that makes you feel good instantly. And when 2 seconds have passed, stop thinking about that thing, and as soon as you feel that fear again, 2 seconds on the thing that makes you feel good. Because again, your state and condition of mind and the way you feel are the emotional energies that will, in an instant, change your whole auric light, which is your astral energy field or the protection grid or ball around yourself. Now, that's the first thing. Now, the other aura that I want to focus on, the other division of your aura is called your physical alpha force. That's PHYSICAL, a separate word, AL, P like Paul, HA, your physical alpha force. That is the physical field of electric energy that emanates from your physical body. It does not change color as quickly as the beta field, because the beta field is controlled by your thoughts and the energy and the state of mind that you have, whereas your physical electric field is controlled by what's going on in your body as far as pain, aches, ailments, injuries. But if you spend 2 seconds every time you feel this fight or flight mentality coming on, and every single time you feel it, 2 seconds of that which makes you feel better, that will over time release chemicals in your body and into your stream of energy and into your neurons and your nervous system that will begin to heal your physical body. Okay? So I'm trying to give you guys things that are going to help you. Now, some people call these energy fields your aura. Other people call them a mandorla, M-A-N-D-O-R-L-A. Some people call them a nimbus, N like Nevada, I, M like money, B like boy, U-S. Some people call it your egg, E-G-G, that surrounds yourself. And I'm going to tell you before we get off this phone how to build and put an egg of protection or security, for lack of, because protection means to hit, so I don't really like protection. I prefer security. To put an egg of security around yourself to keep bullshit off you. When you have the proper egg of security around yourself, for the most part, police don't even see you. Thugs don't even see you. or they can't even step to you. They can't even get into the energy field because they're not resonating or vibrating at the same frequency that you're on, so they can't even step in it because now you're becoming the